G'day punkers. Bet you're wondering where I am, where those planes were taking me. Well, I'm back. I'm back on Lord Howe Island. I'm here for the Lord Howe Island Dark Skies Festival. I'm here to help out, run some events, do some astronomy, show people how to do mobile phone nightscape photography, and just have a blast again. Come along for another ride at Lord Howe Island.
And these were the words that he said. I went up to Mount Wilson Observatory to see my galaxies there. They were stretched halfway out across the universe, and their redshifts were proportional to their distances.
First night on Lord Howe. I have no idea if you can hear me or not. There's a band playing. Fred Watson was playing before. We have telescopes there. There's a huge crowd. There's an information stand which I've been helping man. Hey, they're cheering her. Yeah, this is just like opening night. Music and hanging out. Good fun. Anyway, I've got to go and introduce an act soon. The next act after this young lady. So I'm going to get ready to go and do that. Evening. That was different, that not tonight. Very, very different. That was not the Lord Howe Island I was at 2 months ago. It was very different. In a good way. I don't think I've ever seen a town turn the town square into a rave. It was absolutely brilliant. Earlier in the evening, it was equally as brilliant as well. So many people listening to these musicians sing. It was great to catch up with Fred and Marnie. Really enjoyable evening. Good to see Tim from the Crooked Post again. Had good chats to him throughout the evening. Lovely to see Danielle again. Looking forward to the rest of this week. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be a bit of a write-off. It looks like it's going to rain, maybe about 60-70 mil throughout the day. So the Science Centre pub for tomorrow has been called off. There is one on Monday, and I've got the Science Centre pub with the kids on Monday too. We're doing bottle rockets. So at least it gives me a day to sort of get my head around a few things, a few ideas. Had fun helping MC tonight, introducing the guests and promoting the event. That was fun too. Really enjoyed it. Anyway, I'm going to have some platter. Love Lord Howe platter. Got one last time, it was delicious. Had one sitting in the fridge this time as well. I'm going to snack on this, some of this, and then I'm going to go to bed because I am exhausted. I've been going since 6 a.m. this morning. 2 long flights, helping out at the information centre. I'm buggered. See you in the morning. It's the afternoon. I haven't really done much at all today, and I'm glad I haven't because the weather's just not been good at all. I think, as I was saying earlier, all the events for today have been cancelled anyway, so I've just been editing videos. Look at my hair, it's a mess. Oh, I haven't even done my hair. I've been editing videos, latest vlog, and doing a little bit of work as well. But right now, I'm probably going to pull all of the telescope and the tripod and the mount out and set it all up and make sure it's all working because there are some clear skies coming up over the next few days, and I want to make sure I've got it all set up and ready to rock. Change plans. Heading into town to one of the cooking events. See what's going on down there. Let's go.
Forget your sins, we'll all wanna fall in flames.
Wow, I'll tell you what, hang on. We've got to close the cupboard. That was one heck of an evening. That was such a cool gig. My job tonight was doing social media stuff, so I was taking videos and photos. Anyway, I'm going to finish off doing what I've got to do and then go to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. Just wandering through the jungle on Lord Howe Island. It's wet still. Weather is supposed to start improving. Not entirely sure how soon that'll happen, but I'm confident it will happen. Let's just say it rained very, very heavily for most of the night, and it's very dreary out here still now. I'm on my way at the moment to the Coral Cafe for a coffee with Fred Watson and Marnie, and also Danielle. Have a catch up, have a chat, a debrief, work out what's going to happen over the next few days. I'm going to go fishing for a little bit before this afternoon's events. Change of plan again. Weather is not conducive for fishing, so I'm going back to the cabin and I'm going to prepare for this afternoon's Science in the Pub session and the kids' science session that we're going to be working on. Bottle rockets and fun stuff like that. So I just walked back up the hill. Get all that stuff sorted. Head down again this afternoon. So hopefully the weather will be better. It's meant to be clearing, so fingers crossed. It is meant to be clear tonight, so I think I'll set the telescope up and get it ready. And then if it is clear tonight, then I set it up outside, or move it outside, and let it run. See what we can capture. Anyway, better go and prepare for this afternoon's session. She's all set up, ready to go. I mean, the skies aren't great at the moment, but there's blue sky coming through. I'm all set up. It's all level. It's pretty much facing the right direction. So hopefully not too much tweaking this evening when I get back. Fingers crossed that the forecast is correct for the rest of this evening and tomorrow night, because that should mean that I might get at least 1, possibly 2 nights of imaging. Now I just got to work out what I'm going to image. I don't have a great deal to work with. I'm working with the southern skies, sort of like from southeast around to southwest, probably more likely west. So I've got a bit of range, but not massive. But we're all set up, ready to go. Basically, just need some clear dark skies at night now. Now I've just got to sit and wait for the science with the kids. Walking back through my little rainforest walking trail. Weather has improved significantly, which is great. I've got my presentation ready for the kids for the bottle rockets. I forgot the corks. I better go and get them. Got the corks. We're all good now. Time to get down to the brewery for bottle rockets. And look at that, sun. The sun has arrived. It has returned to Lord Howe after it's been pretty much 2 days of just torrential downpour with a few breaks in rain here and there. Hopefully it continues to improve for us.
Bottle which is coated with this reflecting coating, and we pour the water out. What you'll see, whoops, let's do it again. See the light is trapped by the water. Yeah. The water itself is bright, and it's because the light is being reflected inside the water droplets. A bit like they were with the rainbow. Your fault. I know. I'm looking for somebody new and exciting. I'm looking for someone like you. I'll tell you the reason why you're so inviting. You look like no other girls do. Your extra leg is quite divine. Your scaly nose just tells me I must make you mine. I'm looking for somebody new and exciting. I'm looking for someone like you.
Well, that was a fun night. Science in the pub went off without many hitches. A little bit of rain, but that's okay. We worked through it. Once it stopped raining, the skies cleared. It was great fun. Earlier in the evening, we did astronomy for kids. That was great fun. We made bottle rockets. We made a heck of a mess. It was so much fun. The kids absolutely loved it. It rained on us, but that's okay. These things happen. They loved it. They enjoyed their pizza. We had some really cool questions asked to Fred, and Fred answered them in the way that Fred does. Kids loved it. They thought it was amazing. Parents loved it too. And then it was Science in a Pub. We had a panel of 4, which I emceed. Again, really good crowd. Seriously good questions asked. A lot of questions about dark skies. How to make Lord Howe Island a dark sky reserve or a dark sky island. Lots of questions for Fred as well, as usual. And what we did a science experiment, because we were talking about light pollution. And so I got the bar owner to turn off the lights, all of the lights of the brewery, and got everyone to look up at the stars. But before we turned the lights off, I said, have a look up. What can you see? Not many stars, because the lights were on. We switched them off, and the wows from people was amazing. They're just like, wow. So we did a bit of an impromptu night sky tour, turned the lights off and kept asking questions. Great night. Everyone had a blast. Popped down to one of the viewing sessions that was being run by Rob from Port Macquarie Observatory, and now I've just come back to my cabin. I'm about to head out to my scope because the skies are clear. I'm going to set it up and let it run all night. Got a big day ahead of me tomorrow, so I'm just going to go off and do that now, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. partly successful night last night. Got about an hour and a half, nearly 2.5 hours, sorry, of data, but then the clouds rolled back in, so covered the scope up, went to bed. Tonight though is meant to be better. I do have a DSLR session that I've got to run tonight with one person, but when I get back I'll be setting the telescope up again and imaging again. However, at the moment I've moved out of this one and I'm moving to some other accommodation. Accommodation on Lord Howe Island is not easy to get, and the booking for me coming over here that was done had me half the time at Broken Banyan and half the time somewhere else, and I'm not exactly sure where that is, but I'm about to find out. Alright, so just got to my new digs, Ocean View Apartments. I think it's one of the fanciest places on the island, that's for sure. It's got its own pool, it's got its own tennis court, there's a table tennis room, lots of cool activities to do there. It's got its own restaurant as well. Pretty cool place. It looks beautiful, but while I wait for my room, I'm going to head down to Crooked Post, have a bite to eat, do a bit of work, get ready for tonight's DSLR session and tomorrow night's smartphone imaging session. So a double failure there. The post wasn't open as I got there early. So I had a coffee and a bacon and egg roll at Anchorage. Delicious bacon and egg roll. And my laptop was flat. Couldn't do the work I needed to do. So I'm going to head back to Ocean View now. Hopefully my room is ready and I can get the laptop plugged in and do the things I need to do for the next 2 sessions coming up. And I might even set the scope up as well and see if I can find a good spot, sit it at Ocean View where I'm going to get a nice clear sky tonight, because it is going to be very clear all night. I want to try and capture Triffid and a really good image of GC 4945 as well. I'm back. Telescope set up. Might go for a swim later on. If this isn't the most beautiful place I've ever set a telescope up at, I'll go, hey, this place is gorgeous. It is going to be clear all night. So now I'm just going to cover it over. I'm going to go and do my digital DSLR session down on the beach. And then when I'm done with that, I'll come back up here and get this thing running. I've just checked into my accommodation here at Ocean View. Hang on, we'll start here. Nice little bedroom, nicely appointed bathroom. Whoa! We have a lovely little lounge, TV, dining area, a very nice kitchen. But I think the best part of this thing is that's the view. That is the view from my little private decking out there. I'm just going to chill here, get myself sorted, and then head down to the Crooked Post in preparation for tonight's DSLR session. Got to get the DSLR out, test it, and make sure it's all working correctly and charged. And yeah, got all my gear, got the camera as well, phones, battery packs to charge, got SD cards ready to rock. Heading down to the Crooked Post, gonna have a beer while I wait for my attendee to turn up. One person tonight. So a one-on-one session on imaging, night sky imaging tonight. So it should be fun. Beautiful weather for it too. It's clearing up nicely. Wow, it's windy. It's really windy. Anyway, platters, photography gear, views. My attendee is a little bit late, but that's okay. We've got plenty of time. We're going to be able to grab some great shots of Mount Gower, and I can't remember the name of the other one. Clouds that are here will be gone soon. Very, very windy. It's time to get stuck into some astrophotography or some nightscape photography. Well, the session is over. It was a good night. We got her digital camera, her DSLR. She had a Canon, and we got that working nicely, taking some great shots of the Milky Way, getting the emu over Mount Gower with the bay. Very nice session. Platter was delicious, as always. Thank you, Danielle, for the platter. It was perfect. I think we were about 2.5 hours into the session, getting some really good shots, tweaking the settings, and then the rain came out of nowhere. So that wound up the session, but it was about time to finish it up anyway. And then I wanted back up here. I've set the scope up outside. Got that running at the moment. It's working on NGC 4945. It's going over to Triffid next, and maybe, depending upon weather and how high things get, might get a touch of eagle. I'm going to hit the sack, get up early, and get ready for another day at Lord Howe Island. Wednesday morning now. This beauty ran all night. Lost some subs because a few clouds we went through, but got some very good data on Triffid and on Eagle Nebula as well. Downloaded it, but now I'm going to head down to Crooked Post, have a bite to eat, have a drink. Whoops, got so engrossed in working on some vlog stuff, I totally forgot that Anchorage stopped serving lunch at 2 o'clock. And because Crooked Post weren't serving lunch today, I've had nothing to eat. But now I'm on my way to pick up some lunch or some food from Joy's. Okay, so I have my supplies to last me the next few days. I got some more noodles, because noodles are fun, cheap, easy. Grab some pasta as well. Whoops, truck coming. See? Truck. So I got my noodles, got myself some pasta, grabbed some more beers, some more of the Phasmid Pale Ale, which I really like. I'm just going to wander back to the accommodation along the beach. The first session of the Nightscape photography for smartphones has been done and dusted. Went okay, bit of rain. We got some shots in. Some phones were a bit more difficult to use than others. I'm going to do a little bit more research on phones for tomorrow night's session. I've got another session now, one-on-one with a guy down at the Oval near Pine Trees. So I'm heading down there now, and hopefully we get some clear skies, because it's looking very overcast at the moment and really don't want any more rain tonight. But yeah, I shall continue on down to Pine Trees in preparation for the next session. There we go. Very ghostly looking. I'm at the location where my final session is. I've also just been mucking around and doing some test shots. It's cloudy but clear, not raining but drizzling. I think we'll get the session in. We should be able to. For now, though, while I wait, I'm just going to muck around and take some shots, test some settings, see if there's some cool new tricks I can come up with. Back from the last session of Nightscape photography for tonight. It was good. It was a one-man show, I guess. I was one guy that I was showing how to do his Nightscape photography time lapses. We did a star trial, which he thought was really cool. It went really well, actually. It didn't rain. It wasn't perfectly clear, but it didn't rain, and that's the important thing. He got a lot out of it. We had a good chat as well. Really nice guy. And yeah, now I'm just unwinding preparation for another big day tomorrow. Got a meeting in the morning to run through how things at the first Dark Sky Festival have gone. I think it's been a success. Weather aside, it's been great. A few things learnt, the things that I reckon we can improve on, which I've got a dining experience I get to go to tomorrow night that I've booked in for. And then after that, at 9 o'clock, I've got my last Nightscape photography session on my last night in Lord Howe Island for the Dark Sky Festival. I'm going to hit the sack. Pretty exhausted after today's travels, I guess. Good morning. Bit overcast today. Still windy. The wind has been here all week. I guess the bonus is that it keeps moving the clouds on, even though it might rain and then it stops again. Today we are in for a rainy day, just like the last few days, but we are in, hopefully, for a clear night. Right now, I'm off to that meeting to have a chat about ways to improve the Dark Sky Festival. Gonna have a coffee as well, because, oh my gosh, I need a coffee. Anyway, let's get my second last day underway. Debrief, done. Some really cool ideas for next year's event. I'm actually really looking forward to next year's event now. It's going to be a lot of fun, a couple of new activities, more involvement with kids. It's exciting. Oh, I had myself one of those egg and bacon rolls again. That's it, I'm done until dinner now. Those things are delicious. So if you're ever on Lord Howe Island and you want breakfast, go to Anchorage and get yourself an egg and bacon roll. Damn tasty. Damn tasty. Now I'm heading back to Ocean View, my accommodation. I'm going to do a little bit of work, and then this afternoon I'm going to head down, have myself a nice quiet beer at Crooked Post. I do love that venue. And then I'm going to check out the distillery. There is a gin distillery here. Might buy myself a bottle of gin. Might buy myself a bottle of Dark Sky gin. I tried very hard to get my work done, but without access to decent internet, I can't get any of it done. So you know what that means? It means I have to go and steal internet from Crooked Post, because they've got good internet. But that also means I need to have beer. I'm not going to complain about that. Beautiful views, beautiful beer, a wonderful location, and I'll work, get it done, and then I'll enjoy the rest of the afternoon before tonight's events. Oh, it's safe to say the weather has turned. It's a heck of a storm that's been coming through. Wind is vicious. The rain is almost sideways, but it will pass. It will pass. I'm confident. Glass half full and all that crap. Anyway, battling the rain to get back to my accommodation so I can get ready for tonight. The rain has... How you going? No, there will be stars tonight, I promise you. Oh, it'll be a lovely dinner. Are you going? I'll see you there then. Just chatting with one of the fellow tourists there. Yes. It will be clear tonight. Oh, but it is stormy as all crap. Let's have a look. I do love a sideways palm tree. Have you ever tried to run in wet thongs? Oh, I don't recommend it. It's not easy. Far out. This is the windiest and wettest I've seen it here coming to Lord Howe. I'm sure it gets worse. Anyone who says that Melbourne has 4 seasons in one day, Lord Howe has about 20. Did someone say gin distillery? Me. I did. We're going. Let's go. Let's go check it out.
first started on the mainland. We started on the mainland because Lord Howe on board has got liquor license for the whole of Lord Howe, and they only issued liquor permits to everybody on Lord Howe. So they didn't have any manufacturing licenses or standards or anything. So we wanted to get set up with Australian standards first before bringing it back to the island just through here. So we hold a dual license. We have an Australian license plus Lord Howe Island license just through. So we did that for two reasons. The Australian government is what overrides things, but Lord Howe Island's got its own unique act. It's got its own little intricacies on the island just through here. But we wanted to be covered by both umbrellas for that reason just through there. The first gin we made was a wild lemon hibiscus gin. Has anybody done the walk up to the Goat House Cave, that area through there? So right at the base of Mount Litchfield, down there's a walking track which goes up, and it's the main area for water flow on the island, and the mountains attract twice the annual rainfall the rest of the island. So in the early days, when the settlers went to collect fresh water, when they'd stop off the boat here, they'd go up there and they'd collect fresh water from the stream there. There was a tree there called the ship tree. Whenever the ships visited, they'd carve their names in that tree of the dates when the ships came to Lord Howe. The first ship to name or carve its name in the tree there was a ship called the Bell, and the Bell was the boat that brought my family here 6 generations ago. So when they were here, they just had discarded any citrus or anything in that area, and the wild lemons that we use are all part of that original settlement in that area just through there, and then morphed into wild lemons. Hibiscus. This shed just here is the old power generation shed for the Andalay, and so we've got some guests here at the Andalay. So we used to have 2 big diesel generators in here, a big 3,000 litre tank out the back here, and when we came to set up, we weren't allowed to do any new buildings on Lord Howe, so we had to come up with an existing building. So lucky this shed was here, so the quirky little thing is we're in here because it was the only shed basically available at the time. But when the guests were departing in the early days, they'd give them a hibiscus lei, and when they'd go onto the flying boat or the ships, they'd throw that lei back in the water. And if that lei returned to shore, it signified a return to Lord Howe. So every single one of our products has got the hibiscus in it as a sign of return to Lord Howe, whether you're having it off Lord Howe or on Lord Howe as well. So this week we've got the Dark Sky Gin. So we've actually got the gin little float that you're going to try with 4 different gins later on. We're going to work our way and build up all the ingredients through the 3 previous gins, which have come in to make the Dark Sky Gin for the Dark Sky Festival just through here. The Dark Sky Festival is the darker gin you can see just through there, and it's actually been coloured with butterfly pea flower to give it that dark blue night look. So when you do have it in a drink, it'll actually go a light, if you add tonic to it, it'll go that lighter pink just through there. With distilling on the island here, we distill in 2 different methods. We distill with pot distilling and we distill with vapor distilling. Pot distilling is where all the ingredients mixed with the ethanol and the water go into basically the main chamber just through here. Everything goes in together. The ethanol comes over at 95.5% ENA, so that's basically Australian food standards straight up. We don't manufacture ethanol on Lord Howe, and that's purely based on the fact that there's no ingredients here that we actually could manufacture to make the ethanol itself, but 90% of the distillers now get it from known manufacturers, and that's purely based on from what actually happened in Laos recently, poisoning of those poor girls. You want to have traceability of products, so you want to actually know to have got it from a reputable person. So when we distill just through here, we heat it up with all the ingredients, the ethanol and the water in there, and it heats up to just over 80 degrees. When you heat it up to over 80 degrees, it's basically when all the magic happens. That's when all the botanicals start to mist up with the actual ethanol. That becomes vaporized, comes up into the helmet, the head section just through here, gets condensed, and it gets pushed through the lines here. We've got a 3,000 litre water tank out the back, and it actually just reciprocates water through here. That is enough to cool it back down to liquid, and it comes out at 82 and 84% proof. So our main base island gin is that wild lemon, hibiscus, blue bush, and salt bush. We've actually got approval to sell that in bulk containers on the island, 5 litre containers. And one of the biggest expenses on Lord Howe is the shipping of goods on and off Lord Howe. So you don't want to ship bottles onto Lord Howe to fill them up, to send them back off Lord Howe Island. So the more reduction we can do of the glass and that breakage and thing on the island here, the better. So we actually have that facility working island-wide, any licensed premises only, and they can't then resell it. It has to be your first port and all this established. By doing that, everyone on the island here basically is making money off the product, and it's an island spread product that way. So that's our island gin. So that's the base of all those gins you're having, and that's the one you had sort of basically on entry, and that's going to be the one we're going to taste out as the first one out there today. Second method of distilling is vapor distilling. That's where you just place the ethanol and the water in here down at 60%. You heat up the still, and you have botanical in either one of these chambers just over here. So it doesn't work for all gins. It really works really well with our reef gin, and reef gin has got sea grapes from the lagoon. So I've got a World Heritage permit through the board for collection of botanicals in this middle section of the island. I've also got a Department of Primary Industries permit to collect sea grapes from the lagoon and around the island. I'm actually not allowed to take them from the reef system itself. I can take them from after a storm if there's any loose whack in the lagoon. So I also run turtle tours, so if you see me doing donuts occasionally on our little boat, that's me seeing a bunch of sea grapes. I've gone back to pick that up. and we bring it back into this area just through here. I'll explain about each of those gins as we walk through, but the advantage of doing a vapor distillery is you can have 30% less botanical, so you have a lot less botanical. As I said, it's horses for courses. It really works for our sea grape gin because the sea grapes are really potent. It's almost like fish food. I'll give you a smell of them later on. So that would then just draw through the vapor through this section just through here. Everything about distilling is about copper contact. The more copper contact you can have, basically the flavour profile you can get. And then the second method, or third method, is using this fancy flute-looking chamber just through here. You can use that for making ethanol, if we were to make ethanol eventually on the island just through here. We're actually using it in a unique way where we're actually fractioning individual botanicals. And for instance, the banyan figs around Lord Howe, they're the big creeping trees you see all around. And if you did the dark sky walk the other day, you were seeing the trees lit up in the forest just through there. So the banyans in this main residential part, when we picked the fruits and tried to use them in distilling, didn't present much of a flavour. And every time we distill with an individual botanical that's new, we actually distill it in 1 litre as a vodka to try and get that taste. We use our small little stills there to actually get a taste profile, scale it up, scale it down, and we get it. And we'll then fold it into a gin or a vodka later on. So it didn't work really, the banyan fig, no flavour here. And that's because the main residential part of Lord Howe is a massive sand dune. Anywhere here you dig down more than 2 feet, you come across pure sandstone. And our flora and fauna on Lord Howe is more in New Zealand than what it is Australia. So it's quite unique. And one day I was going past Cobby's Corner, there's one banyan tree that goes into the ocean there. It's remained the same size my whole life. It's almost like it's bonsai by the salt water. And when we took the figs from there one day, they presented like a vanilla flavour. So you don't actually want to put that in with the main mix because you could lose it and lose it that way. So you'd actually use it, fraction it in, using one of these little techniques. So every time we do take a botanical from a certain area, you record the exact area it's been taken from. You actually will categorise it into individual trees only. So it's quite unique in doing that. But then you're recording the soil type, recording all those little things, closeness to the ocean and different things. With the salt bush, which is in all our gins, our coastal salt bush here is quite rich in that salt. There's no other impure things around it. So depending on the week of which I pick on the side of the island which has had the most salt spray that week. That way it's actually that plant's absorbed the most salt and things, and it gives it more of a salty flavour, say for when it comes through a reef gin. Just through there. We've got one today. The second gin you're going to have today is a chili, lime, coconut and pandanus gin. Quite a unique one. The third one is the reef gin, and the fourth one will be our dark sky gin just through there.
We're gonna start with kingfish crudo, which is like a sashimi of kingfish. The fish is super fresh. I got it last night, so it can't be any fresher. What we did finger lime vinaigrette, which is Ben's vinaigrette. Ben's head chef in Aragila. They got beautiful finger lime tree at the back. We make nice mignonette, pretty much finger lime, some flying fish caviar, some lime, truffle lime. It's a really citrusy, a bit exotic. And some just good olive oil chives, some borage flowers, there's a blue flowers, and some puff rice cracker on top. Thank you. So we make our ricotta from local milk. Basically the milk now it's in peak. It's really good because lots of grass and there's been lots of rain. So it's really rich, it's nice. The milk got really nice cream. So we make our ricotta gnocchi with rice cubes already blanched and we crispy it in the pan with some sage butter. Got some veggies from Anna, which is the garden by the tennis court. Yes. She got beautiful Tuscan kale. So we just saute them quickly with some kale and some crispy kale on top. And finish with grana padano, so nice parmesan cheese on top. From Grant, which is our fisherman for all these years. Again, the fish being caught last night, it's sashimi grade fish, obviously from Lord Howe Island. It's just simply grilled with some bisque. Biscuits made from prawn and fish bones. The cream ready down for hours, so it's nice and rich. We got some sea urchin spikes on top. Just kidding. It's just pasta, crunch up, simple grilled fish, nice bisque. Kawa, who you guys don't know, or you know, he's like probably the most hard-working person on the island. He's like 85. He does the blinds, he fills the blinds, he milk cows in the morning before 8 o'clock in the morning. then he repair everyone's cars. You know, he's just non-stop, just keep going, you know, so much energy. Anyway, so he butchers cows as well. This local cow, it's been aged for me for 4 weeks. I pick short, so I love like slow cooking part of the beef. So the beef being marinated overnight in some spices like cinnamon, star anise, and then slow cook overnight again. So it's really intense jus, sitting on carrot puree, some baby carrot, which is being cooked slowly in apple cider vinegar, and then it's just finished with some vinegar eschalots, crispy vinegar eschalots, and some local herbs.
And just like that, the last session of Nightscape photography is done for smartphone. I had 3 people turn up. There was meant to be 6. I'm not sure what happened to the other 3, but they didn't turn up. Anyway, it was good fun. They learnt a lot, and they're all very, very excited to be able to take photos of the night sky. Hopefully they get hooked on it like I have been. And yeah, I'm going to send them some info on tripods and adapters that they can go and buy so they can get stuck into it and produce some Nightscape photography using their phones. The dinner beforehand, the dinner was at Twilight at Botanica, I think. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, wow, just wow. That was at Anchorage. The food, just kingfish, delicious. The beef, delicious. Dessert, delicious. Everything was just delicious. Food was amazing. Drinks were amazing. So glad I went to that event. People were lovely. Had a really good chat with some of the other attendees, and yeah, just some of the best food I've had on the island. Morning, I stay on the island. This thing here didn't do what I wanted it to do last night. I got a shot of the Milky Way, another time lapse, which I'm a bit frustrated. That's probably my own fault for not checking it. Hang on. Give me 1 second. This, on the other hand, did its thing. So I got hour and a half on Cat's Paw, 2 hours on Triffid, and 2 hours on Eagle. 2 hours on Eagle Nebula as well. I think that was it. Might be a bit more. Might be 2.5 on Triffid and 2.5 on Eagle. I'll have to check. Anyway, this one did its thing, so I've got some more data that I'm going to stack and process from the island. I'm glad I brought the telescope with me. I ended up getting 3 good nights of data, which is great. Just packing up now, getting myself sorted, take my stuff to the transit lounge, and then I'm going to go for a wander down to the main part of town and have breakfast and catch up with a few people and sort of have a relaxing day before I jump on a plane. Well, that's it. Time to go back to Melbourne. Dreary, dreary old Melbourne. Though I'm tipping it's just as windy in Melbourne as it is here. But yeah, I have had a wonderful time back on Lord Howe Island. I found somewhere out of the wind to record this so you can actually hear it. Yeah, I've absolutely enjoyed my time on Lord Howe Island. Second trip here this month in not even 6 months. Dark Skies Festival, first one, was brilliant. Wonderfully put together by Danielle. Danielle, you do an amazing job, and I cannot wait to be part of this festival again next year. Really looking forward to it. Got some great ideas of what we can do with the kids stuff, a few other ideas as well. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Had an absolute blast this time. The people were, as always, the locals were amazing, friendly, helpful, and the tourists who came along to all of the events, they were engaged and intrigued and loved every minute of it. The weather wasn't perfect, but that's okay. These things happen. For me now, back home, back to Melbourne land, get back on with life, more work, more travel again, got some more domes to install in some wonderfully weird places and some more content to make. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, Patreon, get on the Patreon, still working on that damn store. Yeah, we'll see you on the next video guys. This has been a blast.